Welcome back to part 2 of our little comparison video. Towing the Jayco down to Goulburn versus not towing it. We'll have some more figures to share, fuel consumption and EGTs. Wow, 700 degrees, that's hot. More Simpson Desert Prep, a delivery from Western Filters, a whole heap of fun getting out of camp. This is gonna happen to everyone here. We gotta get the big girl out of here too. Look at it all, it just wants to sink me. So we established last video, transmission temps. Now while they were completely safe, they were 10 degrees warmer with the van in tow. Fuel numbers now arriving at the Goulburn Motorcycle Club. Around the 3 hours of driving, 22 litres per 100 towing and 17.2 litres the week before with no van in tow. So both those figures, we need to take the 10% off the discrepancy we have with the tyres. So we're 20 litres per 100 towing and 15.5 not. But both trips we were pushing, we were trying to get transmission temps hot, plus holding speed on all the big climbs. And to be honest, I'm very happy with both figures. It's going to be a cold one tonight. We've got the generator keeping us warm. We've also got some rain expected. Fair bit of rain last night. These were the holes the kids were playing RCs in. Woo, we left. Turned out to be a very wet meet, this one. Here's a bit of a look. So there were 17 65cc bikes lined up for their 3 laps of practice. The track is so wet and muddy, having rain for half the night. The mud stopping forward momentum so easily on the little 65. And while Nicholas didn't fall, he struggled on this corner to find forward momentum. And the poor boys there got super hot. You're very lucky here not to have seized the motor. Look at the state of it. Forget that it might have cooked the motor.
Look at the fork seal.
I know. What do you say, mate? That was something else. Look at your poor bike. Yeah, no coolant. Hopefully, it just got hot and you haven't done a motor. It's due at top end anyway. Guys, we borrowed some coolant off a fellow competitor, actually from our club. They've done a motor, so hopefully we haven't.
Is it going down?
No, it's holding, look. I know, what a nightmare, what a nightmare. Don't. Alright, let's see if it kicks over.
Cut it! It's smoking!
Where? Steam. Give it a good clean and line up for the first race. Just stop. I want to see, is that coolant? No coolant leaking. We're up next. For the rain. A lot of the bikes couldn't make the start grid for race 1. Some were still trying to get their bikes back together, and others decided it was too wet. Not Nicholas, he was here for point. It's hard to fathom that this is the same track we rode last week. Here are the whoops dry. Alright, he's running third. Go! Get in there! Oh. No, come on! Oh man! We're all gonna get stuck coming out. So the rain got heavier. They ended up calling it. So the fun part now of getting back to camp, packing up in the mud and the rain. So my plan here was I knew I had to move slowly. Any excessive acceleration here and I would have just sunk. As soon as I felt myself moving, we sent it, baby. What about that for a turn of events? The rain basically cancelling the rest of the MX round. But now I'm asking, will this water wash off all that anti-corrosive stuff that I sprayed on a few days ago? Hopefully not. So we're over 600 here, holding speed in 4th gear, 110. Wow, that's hot. About to come to the end of the hill, luckily, and I can back off. So the 79's deciding to do a burn here, and we're in a roadwork zone, so we're only doing 80k an hour. Now you can see the top reading, that'll be the sensor closest to the turbo, and then the other two are very, very hot. So that's how hot it needs to get to do the burn. So you can understand now why farmers don't like having the DPF down low like that. There's 2.8, however, the DPF's actually under the bonnet. So there's the return trip empty. Or no caravan. And always coming back from Goulburn or Canberra, the consumption on the return trip is always less for some reason. So we've sorted out all our permits and passes, and there are other regulations to go across the desert. A sand flag is one of them. So these are pretty awesome because they come in 1 metre increments. So in our case, off the roof, only needing 2. But if we had fitted the bull bar, then we would have needed the third one to be 3 metres off the bar. So while I thought to myself I'd make one up, King's had one at such good value. And the quick release fitting, which goes on the roof rack. It seems a genius idea. Clicked on, there is a lot of play in it. I'm sure it's going to be fine. I mean, I'm sure they've sold hundreds of these. So mounting it to this ARB base rack, obviously I thought I'd just drill a hole and fix it on. A quick visit out to them, and there's bracketry for this stuff. I don't have to go drilling holes in the rack. So the only little mod I need to do, I need to drill a bigger hole so that the fitting can bolt up. Fix this on before we mount this to the rack. And then their bracketry bolts up to their roof rack. These plates are generally made for the rooftop tents. So while we're busy organising the ute for a desert crossing, Western Filters behind the scenes have been working tirelessly to get me a catch can and a secondary filter. So nothing like last minute, and here it is. Have a look at this gear. So we're going to do our best to get this fitted up. We'll have an install video. These kits will be available to the public very soon. Feels like you've only had this thing 5 minutes. We're modifying? We're changing the tyre, so he wants to take the bead-locked wheel off the old RC. These are much softer. Height-wise, you know you're going to a smaller tyre.
Yeah.
They're just going to give you more grip, you think. And they look cool too. They've got the silver surround. So you think if you had these tyres on down in Goulburn, you would have got out of those holes easier?
Yeah.
You do? You believe that? Okay, let's change them. So I prefer the Pro lines. Look at all the gunk in there. Close view there of the portals.
So that's the normal height. So the diff would usually be lower, but since it's portaled, it makes the diff higher, so you don't hit as many rocks.
So here's the bracket, and this bracket holds both the catch can and the pre-filter. The only problem I've got is I'm going to have to move that ARB compressor. We also had the alarm siren screwed to the inner guard here, which we've removed. We'll need to find a new place to house that compressor. Nothing like last minute. I don't really have time to relocate it or to find somewhere nice to fix it to the vehicle. We've MacGyvered up temporary power with an Anderson plug, and we'll just use it as a mobile compressor. The 3 self-tappers that the alarm installers have screwed the bracket to hold the siren, you can see they're starting to rust, so it is a lesson. It doesn't take much anymore for the surface rust to start to show. I'm going to get a bit of paint on this bracket. And no, I don't know why I chose orange. I've just got so much of it still from when we were sponsored by Maxxis back in the day. But any paint is protective paint. I hope you enjoyed this video. The next episode we have will be the installation of the Western Filters catch can. We've got a lot to do in very little time, but exciting times ahead. And as always, thanks for watching.